Hello everyone, welcome to the QuesterMage, a Mage's Quest to talk about games. In today's video, I want to talk about the ARCADE1UP Killer Instinct 3/4 scale cabinet. Please note this is not intended to be a review of the machine itself. I try to collect relevant information on the machines, digest user feedback while adding my own observations and or opinions, condensing these into an informational video which I hope is helpful and or enjoyable. We have a few videos talking about arcade related content. If you'd like to watch any of these, please take a look on our channel. Like in the other videos, we will talk about the physical cabinet, the games, and any improvements or issues it might have. In this video, we're going to be focusing on the ARCADE1UP Killer Instinct 3/4 scale cabinet. So let's take a look. Being a 3/4 scale cabinet, it stands at 60.75 inches in height, 18.75 inches in width, and 22.5 inches in depth. The design is based on the Killer Instinct arcade cabinet. To give you a sense of the height of this cabinet, and keep in mind that the following pictures are not to scale, the Killer Instinct cabinet is taller than the legacy editions that came before, but is smaller than ARCADE1UP's Big Blue. The ARCADE1UP Killer Instinct comes with the flat pack wood with pre-applied graphics, a good quality 17-inch horizontal screen, a 2-player light-up control deck, a control deck protector, a custom riser, a light-up marquee, stereo sound, volume controls, a molded coin door, a headphone slot, online play and leaderboards, and 5 games included. Which is a little bit weird because on the machine itself it says 3 games and 2 bonus games. The game list is as follows: Killer Instinct, Killer Instinct 2, and Battletoads, being the 3 arcade games. The bonus games, or console games, are Battletoads 8-bit and Battletoads 16-bit. This cabinet does feature a light version of dip switch settings, having a toggle for difficulty, the attract mode sound, scan lines, or pixel smoothing. Let's look at the improvements made for this machine. It is a taller cabinet. This was a very good move made by ARCADE1UP, taking the feedback from cabinets before. Not only is it a taller cabinet, but the control deck itself sits in a higher position, which is a really good improvement. More options. If you go through the options on this cabinet, you will find that the scan lines has an on, off, and a CRT option, which is a really cool new addition to these machines and overall an improvement. The ROM version is also a surprising addition. So for Killer Instinct, you have 2 versions of the games you can actually toggle between. You have the classic or 1.4 version and the final 1.5D version. These 2 things might be considered small improvements, but to me they are big leaps in terms of ARCADE1UP listening to its fan base, being able to have 3 options for scan lines and 2 options for what version of the game we're playing. I really like that addition, really good improvement. The monitor and the marquee. The monitor and the marquee are now slanted, so ARCADE1UP here once again showing that they're listening to the feedback from their users. The legacy editions had line of sight issues. One of the reasons for this, at least in my opinion, is that the screen wasn't slanted backwards, but on this machine, as you can see, not only is the monitor slanted backwards, but the marquee also, taking the marquee away from your line of sight. I think overall not just improving the usability, but also the overall look. The molded coin door. Seeing as ARCADE1UP were using stickers or decals for the legacy editions, it's very nice to see that they're going with the molded coin door now as almost a standard for their new machines. The joysticks on the control panel have been improved. Some users have been saying that the joysticks for the Killer Instinct cabinet are better than the joysticks that ARCADE1UP were providing before. Not only do they feel better when playing, but also they have put in an octagonal, which is something users have been asking for a long time. So if you are interested in this machine and you'd like to know if it has an octagonal gate, it does indeed. So moving on to some of the improvements needed. The light up marquee quality. Some users are saying that the marquee seems a little washed out. Unfortunately, we have seen this lately from ARCADE1UP. Hopefully we will see improvements to the marquee going forward. The coin slots. So looking at the coin slots, I do think that users should at least be able to press these. Users are saying they really look good, but unfortunately you just can't press them. To me, the best version we could see of this are the buttons being usable with lights behind them, but also be connected to the player 1 and player 2 buttons to add credits in game. Screw caps. In my opinion, this seems to be a little bit of an ongoing trend for ARCADE1UP, and I have mentioned this several times before. With the price of these cabinets rising, I do think that the look of the cabinet becomes even more important, which ARCADE1UP are getting very good at, giving us cabinets that look like the original machines. The care that goes into these, I think, needs a little more attention. Adding a simple thing like screw caps would make it look so much better. I think that if the screws weren't visible, it would make the cabinets look that much better, and would also seem that they're taking better care of the look of the overall machine. On screen now, you can see the render made by ARCADE1UP complete with the screws. Here are some of the screws on the left of the cabinet, and here are some of the screws on the right. There are quite a few, as these are assembled by the users themselves. Here's what I think it could look like with screw caps added. Hopefully you can see that. If you can't, I've highlighted them here. What do you think? Does this look better? Do you not mind that you can see the screws? Let us know in the comments. The control deck not spanning the whole width. Users are still mentioning the wings on the side of the machine here. They're saying it's still a little bit uncomfortable, even though it's been much improved on the legacy editions. On this machine, the control deck has been lifted up. It does sit parallel to the sides of the cabinet, although I don't understand why ARCADE1UP keeps on using this form factor, as before with the Wave 1 cabinets, the control deck spanned beyond the sides of the cabinet and was all just flush. With Big Blue, we saw a slanted control panel and also spanned wider than the cabinet itself. So why don't they just do that for all the machines? It gives you more space on the control deck, it's more comfortable for the users. It's just a little bit confusing why they keep on limiting the control deck size in between the width of the machine. Let us know what you think. Possible issues and fixes. A spectator mode hasn't been included. This feature not being available on this machine caused a little bit of upset in the community. I do think this upset is because the feature to spectate players was present before on the ARCADE1UP Big Blue, for example, and now with no explanation is missing on the Killer Instinct machine. Being a more expensive cabinet, I think that feature should be improved and not removed. Code Mystics themselves have said that it is possible to incorporate spectator mode, but ultimately the decision is not up to them. As adding features improves the overall experience for their customers, hopefully ARCADE1UP will have this feature added in the future, especially as this feature was present in cabinets previously. If this feature is important for you, please note that it's not available, at least yet. The speaker quality. Some users have said that the speakers on this machine are loud, but the quality is not there, especially on full volume. Other users have said that the machine sounds okay to them. Customers have been adding better speakers and amplifiers to ARCADE1UPs probably since the first wave of machines, so this isn't a specific issue for this cabinet. How much this affects your enjoyment really depends on the individual. If you want to play at full volume, be aware this might be an issue for you. If you want very good sound quality, then users are saying that you'll probably need to install your own speakers. More games. Seeing as this machine has a fan favorite like Killer Instinct also being more expensive, it is weird to only see 5 games on here. Some users have said that they only want the arcade games on here. Others have said that Killer Instinct 1 and 2 would have been enough for them, but 5 games does seem on the low side. Why not add a few more games? As an example, I find it weird that they've added console games, but they haven't included the 16-bit version of Killer Instinct. To me, it seems it would just fit nicely here. So what do you all think of the ARCADE1UP Killer Instinct? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? How would you change it? Please leave your impression down in the comments section. But that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you very much again for watching. If you want to help out the channel, please click that like, subscribe, and notification bell for more of our content in the future. And until then, thanks again.